everyone, and welcome to Arts Alive right here on Channel 95 at Bristol Community College. And it's my pleasure today to have with me for the entire show Mike Laureanno, one of our prized local musicians and a local guy at that, living in Providence now, but originally from the Riv, as they say, Fall River. So welcome, Michael. And I think you're going to play a little bit for us, am I right?
I am. I will.
Yes, you are.
Songs of Fall River related to
Fall River related. Michael Troy and Troy City. All of it. Beautiful introduction by Mike Laureanno.
Michael Troy.
Yes, is that what it is?
Yeah, this is
Very
Lizzie,
nice, yeah.
our most famous and infamous resident.
Musician, certainly. Yeah. And lyrics by.
So that's the beginning of a song by a Fall River native guy named Michael Troy. That's his stage name, but his real name is Michael Manuels.
Manuels.
And he
really?
lived a couple of blocks from me, and he was 10 years older than me. I didn't know him, and I finally met him at an open mic in Club Passim in Cambridge, and he got off the stage, and I knew that dialect all too well.
Yeah, of course.
So I said, "What?" I said, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Somerset." And I said, "No,
kidding.
I said, "Where were you born?" And he got nervous, and he put his head down, kind of leaned into me, and he said, "Fall River." But anyway,
Fall River did good with him, though.
Oh,
yeah.
He is the poet laureate of Fall River, Michael Troy, not me.
Yeah.
He's an amazing songwriter. So if you don't know anything about him, if you haven't heard of him, Google Michael Troy, and there's YouTube clips and
he's
wonderful
on,
songs of the city.
That song is on. Is it this CD?
On this CD, on my latest CD, Tightrope, I have a song I wrote for Michael. He passed away in a couple of years ago, 2015, and I wrote a song called Troy. And of course, Fall River was named Troy back in the 30 years, and then they changed it back.
Right.
But he identified so strongly with the city, all his songs, that his stage name was Troy. So I'll probably play that song. I could start off with Lizzie by Michael Troy.
Why don't you do that?
Do that?
Yeah.
Lizzie waits, a giggling child in excited sway. They've loaded and hitched the wagon for a country summer stay. A summer home's a city girl's Camelot. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot. Abby's in the parlor with Uncle John when Daddy said he put the Swansea farm in Abby's name, and Lizzie saw red. It was the stone that honed the axe to play the plot. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot. I'm gonna take a wagon to the Swansea farm, gonna spend a day. I got supplies, I got fishing line, I got sinkers, I got a friend of mine. We'll go wading in the Taunton River. Daddy give her everything she need. He went out of his way to give her. Crept into her dreams sometime in the black of night. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot. Woo, yeah. Revenge would feed a hungry heart that fatal day. Abby went upstairs to make the guest room bed. destined to pay with a life for a love that a poor child never got. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot. Daddy come home to her surprise, a change in plan. Well, I got no time for alibis. He's a suspicious man. He took his coat, he took some time to relax. She kissed his cheek, then she gave him the axe. I'm gonna take the wagon to the Swansea farm, gonna spend a day. I got supplies, I got fishing line, I got sinkers, I got a friend of mine. We'll go wading in the Taunton River. Daddy give her everything she need. He went out of his way to give her, crept into her dreams sometime in the black of night. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot. A brutal attack, a maniac, a wild goose chase. Gave her time to shadow the mess, hide the axe, burn the dress. A poor rich girl that cheated a hangman's knot. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot. Lizzie died and the mourners came too late again. The funeral was held the night before under the cover of darkness by black-clad men. Why again it seemed she escaped the heat. She's in an unmarked grave at her father's feet. I'm gonna take the wagon to the Swansea farm, gonna spend a day. I got supplies, I got fishing line, I got sinkers, I got a friend of mine. We'll go wading in the Taunton River. Daddy gave her everything she need. He went out of his way to give her, crept into her dreams sometime in the black of night. It gets hot in the city. It gets hot.
Wow, that's an update, Lizzie, isn't it?
Well, like I said,
I love that. It gets hot in the city. So
Yeah,
true, you know.
yeah.
Early August, woo.
Oh, baby, watch out.
And leftover lamb, mutton, whatever it was supposed to have been. Yeah, we don't want to be eating that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, all you need is one little tip, you know, when you.
yeah. You still don't know if she
You
did it
never
or not,
know.
right?
Oh,
But,
no, that's for sure.
You
Yeah.
don't want to mess with Lizzie, right?
So tell us how you got started with playing and music. And I think your dad was involved. I know your brother
My dad
is.
played harmonica, and I guess
Yeah.
that qualifies as a legitimate instrument. And,
Sure.
And then at about 16, 17 years old, I wandered down into Newport with my brother, and we opened up our guitar case, and this was during the tall ships.
Yep.
And we made $50 playing 10 songs over and over again. You know, it was wonderful. And then that led to getting gigs in Newport, at the Newport Tavern, at Courtney's, and so on. And finally, I was able to pay my way through school playing, you know, cover songs. At the time, it was all cover songs. You were playing Beatles, Billy Joel, Elton John.
Right, yeah.
I played piano too, and did that, and then finally, probably in my 30s, I had written some songs, but RISA, the Rhode Island Songwriters Association, started having open mics in Providence, and I'd come into that, and eventually one thing led to another, and I started writing more of, you know, I guess folk songs. That's why I kind of.
That was a very good thing. I've had Chuck on a few times
Yeah.
on TV and when I did the radio. And that was really, I think, a great banding together opportunity for people who love to write, too, as well as perform, to be part of that group, you know?
It's a great sense of community. You feel, you know, amongst like-minded people. There's opportunities to perform, critique sessions. And I've known a lot of these people for, you know, since when it started in 1993, RISA. So it's a great organization. It's very, you know, $25 a year. You certainly get your money's worth. So I
guess
recommend
so.
anyone out there who, you know, is a budding songwriter to join RISA and benefit from all the resources it provides.
Now, you want to do something else for us?
Sure.
One of yours? One of Mike Troy's? Whatever
Well,
you.
so that was Mike Troy. Like I
Yeah,
said, he's a
that's
good buddy of mine. He passed
great.
away in November, in about November of 2015.
15,
And
right.
about a month or so before he passed away, he gave me a call and said, "Hey, let's go for a ride in your old Chevy. I have a 1950 Chevrolet." So that's where the song sort of takes off, and so it's called Troy. So
name for the city.
For him?
Yeah.
I'll start that again. I said a prayer for my friend. He's hanging tough. He always said keep the faith, and it served him well enough. We'll take one more ride in my '50 Chevrolet. Go back in time before the light begins to fade. He greets me with a bear hug, his hair is thin. Though he's lost his lion's mane, he's still a king. The old Chevy groans, but she won't let us down. I ask him where he wants to go. He says, our hometown. Now we're rolling along down these Fall River hills. He and the Chevy are holding on still. Hard knocks and granite blocks in these tired old mills we called home. The car's got no seat belts, it don't matter to him. There's worse ways to die, he says, then he laughs like a fisherman. When life threw a punch, he knew what to do. He just kept on casting his hope into the blue. There's a push-button radio at his knee. The tubes hum and sing along to a song from '63. Is this the 4th of July? Are we in a parade? Is this the last time we get to feel this way? And we're rolling along down these Fall River hills. He and the Chevy are holding on still. Hard knocks and granite blocks in these tired old mills we called home. There's pride in the name for the town you were born. You can't rip the roots out of what's bred in the bone. In 1804, our city was called Troy. You can't take the Fall River out of the boy. All those cliches and sympathy cards, holding back the tears, trying so hard to find a way to say goodbye to you. Guys from our hood don't cry, yeah, that ain't true. Now you're rolling along down these Fall River hills. You and the Chevy, forever still. Hard knocks and granite blocks in these tired old mills you called home. Oh, you are home.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, a wonderful capture of the city and of a good friend and
Thank you.
all of what that would mean. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, it was a big loss, you know,
Oh, yeah.
certainly was to the community. I know, unless I'm mistaken, don't they do a fundraiser at the Narrows for, isn't that money used for the music studies at Durfee?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck Williams, Mike's manager,
Right.
and Mary Lou, Mike's wife and family, put together a Michael Troy Foundation, and it's a 501c nonprofit, and it
Yeah.
once a year. We've had, I think, 3 of them so far at the Narrows, and Patrick Norton is wonderful enough to let us do that on a Sunday. I think it's happening on the 18th of November. We try to avoid the Patriots.
Yeah,
but
that's a good idea.
And it's great. So please do come to the Narrows. We do all of Michael's songs, and all the money goes to Durfee.
Exactly.
For their, when Mike graduated for the music program. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing.
So it is a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful way to keep this memory alive, you know.
Yeah.
So I would think, that would be something I would love if I were a musician.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's something I think he expressed interest in doing before he passed away, and so. Of course,
really? Yeah.
Yeah, he was really keen on helping kids, and especially the music program and stuff like that. So it's just a beautiful thing that happens every year, and
when the time comes, we'll make sure that we promote it. You know.
Yeah, it's the 18th, I think.
Of November.
Look at the calendar.
We'll see it.
But yeah, it's a lovely time.
Yeah. Now, where are you going? This show will air in June.
Okay.
So it'll start, next couple of weeks. Anything that we can promote for you that's coming up with gigs of
actually in
the
June?
area?
Yeah, on June I think it's a Saturday, June 16th at the Common Fence Point Community Center. There's another, as it turns out, there's another folk singer, a lady by the name of Kate Grana, Grana, and she has a 501c. She was a teacher for 30 years in Portsmouth High School.
Oh, really?
And similar kind of thing she set up. They set up her for her. And there's a bunch of us. I think there's Gary Fish, Thatcher Harrison, myself. I think Margaret Ferry, and Chris and Diane Myers, who live in Portsmouth. And so it's like from 7 to 9, and everybody's going to play songs. And she was just a wonderful person too. Another always had a smile on her face. Was like an opera singer, and then did a lot of singing opera. She did some stuff here too. I think supported community theater, if I'm not mistaken, at BCC. And all our kids loved her. She was just a great teacher. So we hope to be able to generate some money for that foundation as well.
That would be nice, yeah. So do you want to play us off with something,
yeah,
Michael?
I'll do a song. I did one for my friend Mike. I'll do one for my grandfather. My latest CD is a song called Dig a Little Deeper, and my granddad, like most men in Fall River.
I'm looking at the picture on the back of the CD, yeah.
Yeah, it's a picture of him and his cousin on one of the sidewalks in Fall River, building the sidewalks. And he worked, he was lucky enough to get a job during the Great Depression for the WPA, Works Progress Administration, rebuilding infrastructure, roads, bridges, and parks.
What we need now.
Absolutely. Where is the WPA today? Well, and I remember him always telling me, all work was honorable, no matter what it was, and that
very true.
A dirty shirt was honest work. It didn't matter how much you got paid, So this goes out to that generation and all the hardships they overcame and grew stronger. Thank you again.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thanks
you can
for
do it
having
again.
Me. Thank you. When I think of my old granddad in the cotton mills as a boy, a 12-hour day at a lunch pail wage in torn overalls, I can still hear him say, God bless the WPA. A dirty shirt is honest work. It's not about the pay. When times get tough, dig a little deeper. Never give up. Dig a little deeper. Grandma cooked alone, her cupboard bare to the bone. She could still make soup from whatever she found and make it smell like home. Her firstborn nearly died, just Granddad by her side. With weathered hands, the working man delivered his son alive. When times get tough, dig a little deeper. Never give up. Dig a little deeper. Granddad shoveled at dawn, building bridges and roads for a song. He moved a mountain of stone to feed 8 kids at home. I wanna be that strong. When times get tough, dig a little deeper. Never give up, dig a little deeper. When times get tough, dig a little deeper. Never give up, dig a little deeper.
So thanks everyone for joining us on Arts Alive. And next month, which will air in July, we're going to do a great show with Courtney Resendiz, Chef Courtney Resendiz, I should say, who is very well known in the area, and she's going to prepare a dish for us that I think you'll all love. I certainly did when we were making the section, the video, on a very nice summer dish. So please join us in July, and now we'll continue on with Michael. He's going to take us out.
I'm the dog you left at home. It's lonely here when you're gone, but don't you worry, I'll make do. I'll find something here to chew. There's the wife's high-heeled shoes, the kids' homework, your daily news. I'm a miracle with a paw. Yes, I dug that hole in your floor, 'cause it's my way to say I love you. To bark, whine, and howl, and leave behind a pile of clues. You think I'll make no more noise? You humor me with some toys, stuffed animals, hot diggity dog. But after I tear their heads off, I'm bored, 'cause it's my way to say I miss you. To bark, whine, and howl, and leave behind a pile of clues. You know that I'm your best friend. I have you cleaning up again. I keep you fit, yeah, that's what I do. But I'm so doggone tired training you. Yeah, I'm so doggone tired training you.